Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you may or may not know, I've been working in the gaming industry for 4 years now. I worked as a community manager to an influencer relations manager, to back to a community manager, to back to an influencer relations manager. So I've seen both sides of the coin, working in social media and working with a company for a game, but also being a content creator myself. Throughout my entire gaming industry experience, I've also been streaming on Twitch. I've been making YouTube videos at the same time. So I want to give some of my expertise to those who are looking for how to communicate with brands. And also, I actually asked this question on Twitter to some folks out there. So we'll probably also be including some of really great tips that people said to me on Twitter as well in this video. So if you are looking out for your tweet, just watch. So first off, when you want to talk to a brand about a sponsorship or a partnership, this is at the time that I'm assuming that you are taking your channel taking your channel seriously. This is why I think it's the very first step is to know what your channel is like, knowing your stats. One good website that I like to recommend to people is a website called arsenal.gg, where people can log into their Twitch account or their Facebook account, and they can see their stats for their channels, for their streams and all that, their viewership and all that. And you can grab screenshots and use that to send to companies so they can see what kind of content that you're bringing, what your viewership is like. Knowing your stats is very important because brands and companies who are sponsoring people, they have ways of checking it. There's tools to see that, which brings me into the next thing. Never lie about your stats. Never say that you have more than what you actually have. Contrary to some belief, there are ways to check how many followers you have. I mean, you can literally go to someone's channel to see how many followers they have. You can also see their viewership. There's tools out there to see these kind of things. So never lie to a company about what you actually have on your channel, because there are the easy ways to find out, and makes you look bad if they kind of catch you in a lie with that one. So I would definitely say no to that one. Another super important thing when you're talking to brands is never sell yourself short. Throughout my career, I have seen so many streamers who are maybe on the smaller end who tend to have a defeatist / kind of pity attitude sometimes, where it's like, I'm a small streamer, you won't look at me, but let me, I'm here to tell you stuff. Initially, when I see those kind of comments, I kind of tend to not take it too seriously. If you're not confident in your own content, who's going to be confident to give you a sponsorship or product or any of that kind of stuff? So the first thing, you have to take out I'm a small creator mindset out of your mind completely. You may be a creator who has 10 to 12 viewers or lower than that, but you cannot go to a company and act like that. I also think that people do ask, like, when is it a good time for me to start talking to sponsorships? And to be honest, it depends. It really depends on who you're talking to and where you're at in your own streaming career or career journey. I would say if it's like a really big brand and you're just barely starting, I would not go for that kind of stuff. I tend to think that, like, if you're hitting around, I don't know, if you're on Twitch and streaming, if you're hitting like 30 and above, or if you're like in the YouTube space, I'm still learning the YouTube thing, but I usually try to say if you're hitting like, I don't know, 1,000 views mark on a video per video or something like that, that's a good time to start trying to reach out to companies and seeing if you can be sponsored by them. But let me say as a reminder that I'm giving just advice on things. Not everything's going to work for everybody, but I'm just telling you the things that I've seen and what I think works for creators for most situations. So I just want to put that out there. I'm just trying to let you know. Another thing that is super important, and this is just on all creators of all sizes, is having your contact info somewhere in your channel, having it on your Twitter, having it on your Twitch channel, having it on your YouTube channel. YouTubers are unfortunately notorious for this. Mainly the reason why I say this is because most of the time when you reach out to a company, they want to verify who you are as a person. So they're going to check your channel to see if your name matches anything on your panels that have your email. There are so many people out there who are scamming different companies to get product from people by using creators' identities and using their info by changing their email to like small changes that if someone is not really doing their job well, they're just gonna assume that's the person and just give them free stuff and not even think about it. But having your name there takes out any sort of people who are trying to use any sort of way to scam companies using your name, which puts a bad mark sometimes on your name if you don't have that. I run into a lot of YouTubers who have no contact information, and I'm receiving emails saying, hey, I want a key to your game. And I go to the YouTube channel and there's no contact information anywhere. I have to go through other ways necessary to find out if this person's real or not. And most times and often it's not. There's been a few cases where it was the person and the person just said, oh, you know, I forgot to change my email. I'll change it. And I went to their YouTube channel and they changed it. But you just have to have some sort of place where people can verify it's you. And I know a lot of people get a little nervous about having their email out there because of spam and all that kind of stuff. But when you are trying to go for companies and you're trying to do sponsorships, you're trying to be more serious about content creation, you just create a business email. Just make a business email that you know, this is for my business. If something comes through that I don't want, I can just get rid of it and block it. And that's what I have to do. Never use a personal email for yourself. Never use one that has your name in it, because that's the easiest way that people can find you, and there's safety reasons with that. Just be very careful with that kind of stuff. When it comes to also talking to brands, like I said earlier, being confident, making sure that you're providing the correct and right links, providing links to your channel. That's always good. The easiest way to, at least for my aspect, when you make my job easy, I want to work with you. It makes it so much easier for me to just, if I can check out your channel from the email, I don't have to search for it, that's perfect. And then just like if I go check out your social media, if it's there too, that's perfect too. I just click and find stuff like that. I know there's a lot of websites out there that have multi links where you can send to different social medias if you can't fit on one. Some people don't like that, some people do. It kind of depends on the person that you're trying to talk to. Not everybody's the same. But the easier that you make it on that person that you're contacting, the better your chances are for them to like that you're doing what you're doing to help them out. Another thing that I think is super important is, say that you reach out about a game review and, you tell them, hey, my name is so-and-so. I've been streaming, for this amount of time. I love to check out your game. Here's some clips from other games I've done in the past. So you can see that I've actually done this before. That's always good. And say if you get the key or product, following up, being like, hey, thank you so much for sending me this key to this game. I streamed it on this day. Here's my analytics, because I know my analytics, so I'm sending you a picture of it. Here's my stream stats. Here is clips from my channel. And I also say this is really important too, especially with Twitch. You can make clips, and if they're really funny clips, there are a lot of developers out there who have been using streamer videos and for social media marketing or YouTube videos. And if you're comfortable with it, tell them hey, if you want to use this, my permission to use this. That's a great way to market yourself, to be in a video for a game that you're already playing, which is always awesome. And then just letting them know hey, here is all the stuff that you need. I played the game, so I played it. Some of the worst things that I have noticed and does happen is that people request games, they get the game, they never do anything with the game, and then there's that. And then months later they come back to ask for another game, and then I have to say, hey, I sent you this game months ago, there is no content created with it. Can you let me know when there's going to be some content created with the first game before I can give you another one? This is another reason why I say the follow-up is super important, because of the fact that it tells the person that you're talking to that you're serious about it, and it's reconfirming that they should work with you again because you actually did use their content for coverage of what they gave to you. So that's another way to help keep a healthy relationship with the company or brand that you're talking to, because they see that you're being serious and that you're doing the work, that you're not just taking the key and running away with it and not doing anything with it. Because contrary to belief, like I said, yes, creators can get games for free, get keys for free for games, but someone is paying for that, and it's usually the company that's giving it to you. So just because you're getting it for free doesn't mean that it's not costing them anything. And so that's why it's also great to be very respectful of that fact and treating it as so that though you're getting it for free, you're valuing that they're giving it to you and that you're going to make content out of that, which is always the greatest thing. Another thing I would say about talking to brands is, if you really like a game, talk about it on social media. If you like a product, talk about it on social media. There's usually people who are behind those accounts who see everything that people are saying. And if you really enjoy a game and you're tweeting about it and stuff, and then you're reaching out, I'm sure someone definitely notices, because I have seen a a lot of creators play games I've worked on, and I've actually went and reached out to them from doing so because I see them playing these games that I work on all the time. Be like, hey, like I noticed that you play a lot, that you love it. I would love to connect with you to see if we can do some stuff with you and the devs behind this team. Like if there's like some cool things that are happening, would love to have you check it out and, you know, see what you think of it. Those are opportunities that are so easy just by playing things that you like and talking about it. Social media is crazy. But the word of mouth is quick, and when you talk about things you're passionate about, it's the easiest way that you could get people to understand and know what you are doing and what you like. I have had some really cool things where I've done that before, where I've talked to a few brands that I liked, and they ended up reaching out and me doing some more stuff with them, which was pretty cool. So the last thing I would say, we'll go back over what I think is super important, is that you are confident when you reach out, that you are thorough with what your channel is like, make it easy for the company to find you, check you out, check out your content, make sure you cover the content. And then following up is super important to make sure that they know that you are actually doing what you're saying you're gonna do. All right, so I posted this question on Twitter, and I do want to kind of go through some of the things that other people said, which I think is really good advice as well. So we're gonna throw some of these on the screen, but I'm gonna read some of these out loud. So we're gonna say the first one, I have a pitch deck. I have a deck where it has like past things I've done. I have a Google Doc that has all the websites I've been in with media on press, so people could check that out. I have brand activations I've done in there too, so if I need to give it to a company, be like, hey, this is all the stuff I've done, it's all in one place and they can see it. But this is perfect. So things you should have in your pitch deck: content metrics, which I talked about, brands you've worked with, the testimonials are a plus, a demographic of audience, that's super important too, a concise bio, that's also good. Having a bio, I have learned, is super important because of the fact that I have to write like bios on myself a lot, and they change all the time, and I hate talking about myself. I'm gonna admit that, even though it doesn't seem like that. But having a good bio is always good to just have it there already if you need it. All right, so let's look at some more. There's a lot, so I want to make sure I catch all these. So this one is one of the do's. Learning who you need to contact for what purpose and which method is more appropriate. I see too many workers of brands tweeting about people filling their DMs with requests and questions that aren't anything to do with their area of work. That's true. Knowing who you're supposed to talk to. Just because someone works at, I don't know, Burger King, doesn't mean that they know the marketing team at Burger King. I don't know, that's a horrible example, but that, know who you're talking to. That's very important. Come with a value add for them. Lead in with the honest and clear communication and present the value for them, their brand that comes from working/partnering together with you. Try to slide in slyly for a handout just feels grimy. That is very true. I agree with that. Be confident in your content. Don't give brands a reason to say no before they even see your channel. Avoid I'm a small channel with a little community. Tell the brands about your awesome content and be honest. Don't lie and expect the brand to not research you. Absolutely true. That's so true. And we're gonna take one last one, and let's see. Okay, this is good. Make sure that you're your most authentic self. It served me very well. I'm open and honest and transparent about who I am, and I also make sure a company's morals align with my own to prevent friction. That is very, very, very important. And I didn't hit on that, but you want to work with a company who their loyalty, their morals align with yours. If you don't feel comfortable with the company of how they're doing something, and you shouldn't be partnering with them. And also, be yourself. Like, I know it sounds so cheesy saying it, but being yourself really gets you in a lot of places. I got as far as I have by being myself and never pretending to be something I wasn't. Before I was partnered, I was definitely one of the first non-partnered streamers for a headset company with their all the other partners were partners. And I was not a partner at all, but I knew what I had. I knew that I had experience with websites that I already worked on, events I had already hosted, and all that kind of stuff. So that helped me show them that I was worth their time. And just valuing yourself, which is super important in just content creation in general. It really helps when you're confident in yourself. It takes you a very long way, for sure. But yeah, I think that's all we have. And I truly appreciate you checking out this video. We're gonna be talking with some more stuff that's happening. This channel's gonna be full with all kind of stuff with gameplays, content creator tips, interviews with people. So I'm super excited to be continuing making more YouTube videos for you all. So if you have not, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to check me out on Twitch, you can check me out at iamBrandon. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at iamBrandon TV. And until next time, we'll see you in the next video. All right.